Hello Gemini and welcome to Quarter Moon Tarot. Let's start your reading. Let's get a past, present, future for you. We have a past, we have a present, and we've got these two cards for your future. Let's see how these pan out. So in the past you have experienced some kind of abundance, some kind of rewards you got. All in all, very satisfying time in the past. Let's see what it's about. All right, so there has been some kind of success, there has been some kind of clarity, there has been that optimism, enthusiasm, cheerfulness. You ventured into something, and I think you have seen the results, and these results are really what you have been looking for, what you've been wanting for yourself. All your expectations have been met. You are in this very good, you have been, like, this is your past, so you have been in the past very very satisfied, content with what you have got, as well as now you're looking at doing something more. Whatever effort you put in or whatever you had started, Gemini, you've seen good results for that, and now you have that enthusiasm that let me do a little more. Even that clarity is there, that I can proceed with this, and let me see, making plans for the future. And having your optimism, enthusiasm, your confidence is all in place because of the success you have experienced in the past. In the present, it's all about taking action, because you've seen what has worked for you, and now you're set to take action further towards this. Now there has been a certain end to a certain past, but it needs to be re-evaluated in a very logical and practical manner. You need to change, whatever you worked at this point in time, you have to take it forward, but not exactly in the same way what you were doing in the past, right? Because that worked very well, given those time, situations and circumstances. Now, whatever success you have got, you need to take it forward with a few traces of the past, not all of it. Don't apply all of that exactly the same way in your current situation. You need to change a few things, you need to change a few plans, you need to change a few thoughts, retain something, you need to sift it through, right? You need to sieve it out. You see what is going to what is working in the present, but it's the entire thing is not going to work like this. So you need to do a little sorting out, a little sifting out, to see what you can take from your past which worked, and a few things which are not going to work in the present, that you need to do before you move forward with this, right? So just make sure you analyze everything very very clearly, carefully. Just don't go exactly the same way. Maybe you need to take just 70%, 60% of it, but you need to sort it out, what you need to, what 40% is not going to work, which needs a little bit of a relook, and you need to probably put in a few new plans, new ideas into action. Because you are it's like you with the world card, it is looking at completion, and it is also looking at beginnings, right? You have completed a certain phase. Now for the new phase to start, half is dark and half is light. So what the new is, and here also we have this black and white thing, right? So what you have accomplished, and you need to move forward. But how do you need to move forward? I have already explained that here in this. Appreciate and give gratitude and thanks for what you have accomplished, right? This card talks of having appreciating the success, and don't spend your time too much of your past looking back at what went wrong, right? What did not work out, maybe with respect to this, or maybe in in life in general. There is no point looking back at what did not work, your struggles, how you handled them, what it put you through, and what is happening right now. With this kind of success you have right now, it would be a good idea to appreciate the rough road you have traveled, because it has contributed to your success. So in the days to come, you might have those moments where you look back at your past and have have a little regret, have a little sadness at what did not happen at that point in time, or why it did not materialize at that point in time. You need to appreciate your journey, because had it not been for those days, those events, you probably wouldn't have got the success you have, you wouldn't have got the acclaim you have, you wouldn't have got the prosperity you have, right? So don't get too swept by emotions connected with your past. Just acknowledge it, appreciate it for what it has given you at this point in time, and that would be a lot better way of looking at things, so that you can, and you need to close that chapter for yourself. Give yourself the closure for those rough days. Everybody in life gets them, each and everybody. So just appreciate what it taught you, what it put you through, because probably when we get this kind of a phase in our life, it is supposed to teach us something. So just value all what you learned, because it has made you the kind of person you are right now, Gemini. Additional guidance: don't worry about maybe some of you also have worries that will my past repeat. I don't think so, because that is why you're getting these cards from your past as well. So don't worry too much about what happened in the past, whether the cycle will repeat. Nothing like that. You have grown, you have evolved, you have learned so much. So don't give in to unnecessary worry that in the worrying about the past pattern repeating itself. Maybe you did see some stumbling blocks, maybe things did not work out very well, but that is why you have the judgment card over here, that learn your lessons, and if you have learned them well, then that cycle is not going to repeat again. But this is also unnecessary energy with the 5 of Cups here, about worry and failure, that will I experience it again? No. If you have learned your lesson well, if you have figured out things for yourself, and ensure that you don't repeat certain things all over again, then you have absolutely nothing to worry about. And work patiently and diligently. Even through this, be patient. Don't be too hasty in jumping to conclusions that, oh, this happened last time and the thread is very similar at this point in time, so maybe it will be working out like that. No. Go back to what you learned. Go back to being a little patient. Go back to having your faith in the universe, that you've learned from past mistakes and you're not going to repeat them. So when you are moving forward, move patiently, move slowly, move steadily, and don't always connect it to whatever has happened in the past. There was a time for that, and now there is a different time, right? So you need to kind of get that balance for yourself, Gemini, and just hold on and appreciate what you have. Focus more on the positive and how you can make it grow, provided you are just taking those important lessons from your past. So with that, I'll wrap up your reading, Gemini, and I don't know, I just feel guided to take out a little more for you, because you have these cards, right? And I think the past really does distress you. So let me see if any additional guidance the tarot would like to give us. Emperor and the Devil. Yes, get control of these negative and worrisome thoughts. Don't fall back into the past. Don't give into that. You really need to get a good grip and a good handle on yourself, and just make sure that you don't slip back into what has happened in the past. That past is over. Nothing ever happens twice, right? So it might be something similar, but if you have learned your lessons and you keep a good control on things, take charge of the situation, you will not fall back into that pattern. So don't go back into those old ways of worrying and thinking that it is not going to work out. It's totally in your hands how you handle these kind of emotions, and just make sure that you keep your mind positive and focus on what you have, and try doing things based on what you are experiencing right now, rather than basing your plans on something in the past. Don't go back into the past, Gemini. Focus on your present. Work out new plans, work out new techniques, new ideas, and avoid slipping back into this past pattern. So with that, I'll wrap up your reading. Thank you for watching.